It's time to do a podcast.
All right.
Eyes up, Guardian, or what, something to that effect. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's absolutely smash it, because I can't find the button. There it is. Go.
Episode 4. 9.
Roger me with an avocado
9.
and call me Keith.
Huh.
BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello and welcome to episode 649 of BRB UK. I am Coleman. Hi. No Dan this week. Like the rest of us, he's very sadly affected by the sad passing of King Cobra, but he couldn't carry on like the rest of us. A man who could carry on, Tim. It is Tim.
I heard of this, but what? Who's King Cobra? What?
If you don't know Tim, you'll never know.
I don't know. That's why I'm
Rest
asking.
in power, King. Rest in power. Hey, we're going to do a podcast where we talk about video games. Tim, how's your gaming week been?
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Get much in?
Not what I was going to talk about, but most of my gaming time was actually invested in playing more of the Rogue Prince of Persia, which continued to be very good, hence the fact I put a lot of time into it. Having played like a few hours, like 3 or 4 hours last week, I've doubled or trebled that now, I think, basically. Haven't quite finished it, but have got to much later in the game and opened up more of it. It did get a little bit repetitive at times, but generally it's been pretty good. Like, I've enjoyed that game. That game is still good. So, yeah, just underlining my opinion from last week. And one fact that I didn't know until after the show, but Dan should be extra interested in this game, even though he won't listen to the podcast when he's not on it. But I'll have to tell him when he gets back, because, particularly because it was made by Evil Empire, which is the same company that made Dead Cells, which he's a big fan of.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Good. Talking about random facts, I found out one that I was interested to know if you knew this, Tim, because you're a big fan of the Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know there's a hidden morality system within that game?
Not entirely.
So the more bad things you
sense.
do, the more dishonor you do, the more storms will appear in the game. The more the clouds will become stormy, and the skies will become stormy, and more rain and thunder and things will happen. Yeah, I found that out randomly, and I was like, I wonder if Tim knows that.
No, I didn't. Although, nice to know that my game wasn't very stormy, so I guess I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I'm going to go in and purposely be a dick and just see how bad I can make it. Now I know this. But enough about that. Let's talk about some games we've been playing this week. Because I put my time in. I did a little bit of streaming this week. I did a bit of herdling, as I've been threatening to do since the Nintendo Direct, where they showed off that game. Been very excited for this one. So yes, herdling, one of those games that grabs your attention, or I find it grabs my attention. It's one of those kind of starts off in an urban fantasy setting, a bit like a Concrete Genie, and then opens up into this weird kind of bizarre, I don't know. I get that cozy game mixed with a Death Stranding feel.
Right.
But this is a game
that doesn't sound like that. Sounds like an odd mix. Okay.
Yeah, it's something that it as Kev likes to say, it's the artsy fartsy game. They are the ones that appeal to Coleman, and this one is that. But yes, you play as a kid that's living rough, sleeping under a bridge, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers song, and lives in the city, and it's not a great environment. So they get up, they wander, and you find this large creature called a calicorn, which is the bantha-looking thing.
Yeah,
bantha, cross between a unicorn, with a bucket stuck on its head. And after you free the calicorn from the bucket, it befriends you. You befriend it, and then you begin to guide it along its way. And while rooting through the city, you'll find more calicorns. Until the point where it will stop at a street art of a poster of the mountains off in the distance and some calicorns, and then that becomes that will become your mission in the game. And then pretty soon you're leaving the city and you're out in the vast open world. You're going through forests and rivers and mountains, and it's all very cool. What is one of the best things I like about this game is very few prompts. It will tell you some controls at the start. I found at parts it will tell you to pick things up without giving you a reason for it, but it kind of, it depends on your ability to kind of put two and two together and go, I know what's going on here. Sometimes to the detriment of my failure, but most times in a very interesting way. But yes, it's a cool game about herding these calicorns and taking them, hence the game. I'm assuming you are the herdling because you're a small child doing the herding.
Right.
I've been trying to work out where the name comes from.
I guess it's more SEO friendly than herding, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying it. It's so it's a kind of action driven puzzle game with not so much action. It is very relaxing, but there are stressful moments.
Right.
Like a lot of the times in the stream, I found myself going as I'm trying to guard these large creatures around obstacles, and it's you have to stand behind them and work out what direction you're sending them in. So if you stand to the right, they will go to the left. If you stand to the left, they will go to the right. There's a small kind of guide indicator to show you where they're going. You can slow them down. You can speed them up. There's a kind of an energy bar to say how long you can speed them up for. Dependent on how many calicorns you have, you can lose calicorns on the way, I found out. Ended up starting a section because I was very upset about that, because now I love these little creatures and I have to look after them. But yeah, it's very smooth controls, looks crisp and nice. I've been playing this a lot on the Steam Deck. When I did the stream, it was on the desktop. Then when I was playing it on Steam Deck, very fuzzy on Steam Deck, but still very playable. A little bit of slowdown here and there, but serviceable, I found. But this is something you want to be playing on console, except for the Nintendo Switch, I found out. Because there's some weird issue. There's some weird issue with the camera.
Okay.
A lot of the time, the camera will sink into the floor, past the floor, and cause issues when you're trying to play the game. I don't know if that's been patched out yet, but that's something I found out when I was looking around on the different platforms.
No one likes a floor camera. I have a question then, Mr. Coleman.
Yes, Tim.
When you say you're kind of herding them, like, is it kind of Lemmings like where they go on a path and you can sort of redirect them, or is it kind of like, are you moving obstacles out of their way so they can get things? Like, how are you at what's the actual gameplay in terms of, getting them through the environment?
It's funny you mentioned Lemmings, because that's kind of what I thought this game was going to be, more interactive version of Lemmings, and there was going to be puzzles along the way and stuff, and it is that to a point. For the most part, you won't find that they'll just walk off cliffs and things. Like there is an element of they have some smarts, and there are some kind of barriers that will stop them doing things. If they cross over a bridge, they're going to cross over the bridge. They're not going to fall off it or anything. Other times there will be like junk because it's near the city, so barbed wire and things that have been kind of mashed together. They can walk into that and get hurt. There will be obstacles of that nature that they could walk into, that you've got to guide them around. And you can do that either by stopping them and then kind of reconfiguring yourself. You can slow them down, make them walk slowly as you're trying to reposition yourself to make them go correctly. But yeah, it's not like Lemmings per se, where they're just going to walk off into a direction and stop. You're doing a lot of the guiding yourself.
Okay, and then, so how are you losing some of them then if they've got smarts? Not all the smarts then.
They have you could guide them into an obstacle by accident, and then they will start bleeding. And it's really horrific as well, because they just look like they're coated in blood when they get hurt. And if that happens too many times, they'll just hit the deck and they won't be movable. And you can find some plants in the area that will revive them if you feed them the plant. But those are in specific areas, like checkpointed areas. I found there are moments where, so part of it is because it looks like your aim is to get to the top of a mountain. So along the way, there's kind of steep cliffs that can fall away below you, which there are some indicators that that's going to happen. And the first time that happened, one of the little ones kind of walked off, cliff face crumbled beneath him, and then he was kind of, and then I, as I ran to grab him and pull him back, he went whoom, down, and I had to restart that level because I wasn't happy about that. There are predators that will come after them, very large owls that will.
I thought you meant
them.
like things with like the 3 red lights and
yeah, those two dreadlocks,
yeah,
all that kind of thing. But yeah, there are wildlife predators out there that will take them out if you allow them to.
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of cool when you I say about like it's quite horrific when they get injured because it just looks like they're absolutely coated in blood. When you feed them one of these these plants to revive them, they kind of just shake it off. It's like part of their feathers because they're covered in feathers.
right.
And they do like a little wet dog shake, and then all the feathers just disperse. The red
Wet
ones,
dog
and then
shake?
the regular
Okay.
ones are beneath them. Yeah, and there's a lot of kind of color coordinated elements. There are different colored plants along the way, mostly blue ones that you'll find that they will eat, and so when you eat them, that will revive your boost energy, so because you can make them stampede. There are red ones, which I have no idea what they do. I've been kind of avoiding them because I don't know if it was injuring them. There's yellow ones that are used for puzzles, but it doesn't explain, apart from the blue ones, it doesn't really explain that. So, yeah, it's kind of find out along the way. Very quirky, cool little game. I can see how the average gamer will pick this up and go, what the hell's this? This is boring. But for me, I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've been looking at the trophies and I'm the Steam achievements, and I'm very close to the end of this game. So it's a short one, but it's an enjoyable one. I've been getting all the feels from it. It's out now. It's on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. It's on PC and Nintendo Switch. It's £19.99 if you wish to pick it up.
And how long are you talking play wise?
Probably like
You're near the end.
8-10 hours, I reckon.
That sort of range. And so,
I'm gonna have to
okay
start
for the
looking
price, you think?
I think there was a discount on the launch, so it was probably more £15 that I paid for the Steam copy, and I'm fine with that. Sweet spot. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Interesting.
I didn't play any footage once again. Here you go.
Oh, yeah, let's have a look.
There's a kid running around.
Okay. In an urban environment, looking for a herd to herd.
Yes.
Wet Dog Shake was also the name of my first band, but yeah.
Very
It's
good.
where the name Mighty Mutt came from. Oh look, it's a big thing. It's a beast.
It's a calicorn. One of the funny things, so when you tame one of these calicorns, you have the option to name them, and you can either type the name in yourself or you can pick names yourself. And they're very kind of fantastical names that you scroll through, and every now and then it'll be like Steve. And I go, yes, I'm calling him Steve. And it will be like Jontha and Cranko, and it's like, and Dave. Which I really like doing. Yeah.
Dave the
Nice little
Calicorn.
game. There's your feathers.
He looks like a Steve.
Yes. I'm going to quickly jump that to a more... there we go. They're resting by a fire. That's nice.
Oh.
I won't reference anymore because otherwise I'm going to have to put this in the post.
Oh, well, yeah.
So,
yeah.
that's Herdling. It's out now. And once again, I forgot to put the footage in. Silly Coleman. So glad I
Silly
spent the time to do
Coleman.
that. Silly
Yeah.
Coleman.
Nice.
What have you been playing, Tim?
Right, well, it must be Cozy Game Week because we've also been playing a cozy game, Coleman. One that I downloaded last week and mentioned, a game called Sword of the Sea.
From the Journey people?
I think so. That would make sense. I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but if you told me that was correct, I would believe you. So, anyone that's not seeing the footage, it's a kind of, I would say more hoverboard than skateboard, but kind of you're hoverboarding on a sword.
Yes.
Hoverswording? Hoverswording.
Hoversword.
And yeah, you kind of just roaming around. Basically, the Sword of the Sea is confusing, but like you are initially, at least, riding around on sand, but the sand kind of undulates in a sea-like manner. You
Right.
then, at certain points, will then kind of get to a point where you are kind of seemingly refreshing the land so that it all turns into greenery, which we've seen in other sort of games before as well. But it makes the desert into a sea. So, like, there'll be tracks and paths of actual water. And it would make sense if there was fish and dolphins and other marine life swimming in that sea. But they're not. They're swimming in the air.
Oh, so what you're saying is that if you like the sand dunes and salty air...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of comes out like if you added, adding games together to get the some part of it, like it's kind of a bit Journey with minus the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Plus a kind of Tony Hawk-esque game where there's no threat of actually falling over and falling flat on your face, because it doesn't really do that. Like you can just jump and do stuff. Yeah, that sort of thing. I was trying to remember there was a Dreamcast game where you played on hoverboards as well, and I was trying to remember the name of that because it kind of reminds me of that.
Airblade 2.
Let's say yes, but it wasn't that. And there's as the video footage you got to show you just like wall riding, and there's like tricks and stuff that you unlock, and there's but yeah. Anyway, so it's part Journey, part Tony Hawk's, part Echo the Dolphin. Add elements of those together, do a lot of acid, and then you come up with this game, basically.
Okay.
That sounds a bit like overly dismissive, but it kind of describes what's going on in the game. But I kind of like it. It's kind of, for some people, it might be a bit too passive. There isn't really any threat. There isn't really any combat. There was one point in the game where I thought there was going to get combat. You draw swords as like someone that's been a mystery enemy that's kind of been, well, potential enemy that's been kind of, you've only seen from afar, and then you come across at one point in the game, and you cross swords with them. I'm like, oh, there's going to be some combat. And no, there's no combat. It's all just kind of traversing the environment and like jumping up to just different areas. And then like there's puzzles that involve like getting a bubble of water around you and feeding it to a golden turtle's mouth. And you do that at various different points, and then it will unlock a doorway for you to go through to carry on your journey.
If I may, Tim, this,
yes.
I mean, very much looking at the nature of this game, it does look like a platformer that isn't a platformer, which is kind of suitable for you.
Yeah, and as such, I kind of like it. Like, it's not a very challenging platformer. Like, there are parts where you are jumping from one area to another, and you do that, but like, there's parts where you're like bouncing on like jellyfish that act as like trampolines. But
trampoline?
Trampoline. But it's very forgiving, as is like there's bits where you are basically grinding on rails that are like huge chains that go across the environment. But and the bits where you're wall running and stuff, they generally act as shortcuts from where you've traversed to in the environment to get back to like the central hub of that environment, so that you're not just retreading over old ground. But again, there's not much threat of like actually falling off the grind. It's very easy to jump from one area to another. In fact, it kind of auto jumps you, and then you're just landing again. There's no real skill to it, which sounds again a bit dismissive, but it comes off as just a very easy to play, very passive game. There are a couple of points where it challenges you to like do tricks and get combos to unlock the currency type thing that you're getting in there, and basically, but you can just get that from just going around the environment. So you wouldn't even necessarily have to do the trick point things. But again, the points that total that you need to get is quite easy to get to and not very difficult. and not really worth repeating. It's not really worth bettering your score. So you don't really get stuck anywhere or stay anywhere for too long. You're just finding a way around the environment. And like you said with hurdling, it doesn't do very much holding your hand. There's some initial description of the instructions of, the actual controls. And
Right.
basically you are there's lots of temples in the environments, and there's these priests with these big baskets on their back. And I can't remember what they actually call it, but the MacGuffin that's the currency in the game, you generally just give to these priests and they fill their baskets. And there's a certain threshold that you need to get to in each environment, but you can just go, it doesn't really matter if you go to the next environment, you just give them there and it's a cumulative total. There's not like any sort of discouragement from just cashing them in wherever you want. You won't lose them. There's no, again, it's very easygoing in that nature. But as you give more to the priest, it unlocks more moves and different tricks and stuff that you can do. But again, it's not very difficult and it's kind of quite easy. But as I said, it just comes across as a real kind of just easy to keep on playing game. It's not something where you're like, oh, I've got to go back and try that again. It's just it just kind of flows from one to the next. In so much as it doesn't really ever seem to break up. There's a few loading things which I think are disguised by cutscene, traversal cutscenes where it's going from one environment to another, and it kind of just takes you control away from you for a few seconds while it's doing that. But you're quite soon back into the gameplay and back in doing something else. You mainly spend the time surfing on your sword. There is a point where you rescue this large crystal dolphin, a large crystallized dolphin that becomes a real life massive dolphin that you then ride on the back of, and then that jumps up. And then there's a massive shark that you also rescue, and that kind of barges into things more than jumping, but that goes around the environment. And so that kind of mixes up the gameplay a little bit. And I've just got to a point where, without too many spoilers, but there's a big bad thing in there. Doesn't seem like there'd be any combat with that as far as I'm aware. But he broke my sword, or the encounter with him broke my sword, and I'm now riding around on the person that I presumed might have been an enemy at one point that I clashed sword with. I'm now riding around with them on their sword. So there's two of us on a sword, basically. Yeah, I mean, there's a very light story going on. I don't think I'm spoiling anything too much there.
I feel that's been spoiled for me.
Okay, that's fine.
That would have been a lovely moment for me.
It doesn't really matter.
Ruined it.
And it doesn't really change the gameplay or anything going on. The whale and the dolphin stuff does a little bit. As I said, it's all a little bit trippy. But yeah, it's a very cozy, easy to play, chilled out experience. If you like Journey but don't like other people, then this is for you. Because there's no multiplayer side to it, basically.
I was wrong. This isn't from the developers of Journey. This is from the developers of Abzu. Which is the
that makes sense
game,
as well.
Which makes more sense.
Yes.
Richard Kirk asks a good question. He says, are we sure this isn't all underwater?
I mean, maybe.
SpongeBob situation going on.
No, without going into too many spoilers, but there are different shrine type things that you encounter in the environment that explains a bit of what's going on. And I say explain in a very loose sense. But basically, things are broken and the natural order of things is all a bit mixed up, and gods can't be born anymore or something, it says at some point. And
Kevin Costner's sailing around with webbed feet.
Yeah, there's that. But no, it's the natural order of things is not correct. There is marine life flying in the sky, and it makes reference to that as well, basically. And yeah,
that's cool.
And there's waterways in the sand, and it's all a bit messed up. But yeah, as I said, a lot of that comes off sounding slightly dismissive, but it's quite a nice, chill, easy to play game. I've heard somewhere else that it's not the longest game in the world, so I imagine I'm a fair way through it because I'm about 3 hours in or so. And yeah, as I said, I went in with not massive expectations, but yeah, it's a nice, cool, chill, easy to play game, and it's quite good. $19.99 to $24.99 does sound a bit pricey, but it's available
Cheaper on PlayStation.
Cheaper on PlayStation, but also it's on as part of the PlayStation Plus thing, which is where I got to play it as well. So I don't think it's one of the monthly games, but it's in the extra or non-premium levels. So it is generally available on that. And I think if you can get access to it through one of those sorts of services, it's definitely worth having a play with if you like a nice chilled out little skating type game. It's a bit weird, but yeah, not without its charms.
I was gonna pick this up, but I've got two games that have turned up for next week already, and then I've been sent a review game that I forgot the other games were coming and had applied for. So I've got a bit too much to play at the moment. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a discount before I get to Sword of the Sea, because I do want to give that a go, and I want to get back to Abzu again. I'd like to play more Abzu. Good game. Good game. Relaxing games. Short, relaxing games before we get into the mentalness that is Metal Gear and Lost Souls aside next week. Before we get to the news, Tim, something has been pointed out to me on via the powers of YouTube.
Oh, right,
apparently we suck at telling the difference between Chinese Souls-like games.
Why?
Because we were mixing up Black Myth Wukong for one of the other three main Chinese Souls-like games last week.
Were we?
Neither of us has played Black Myth Wukong. We have both played something else, and I've forgotten the name of it off the top of my head. It wasn't the Feathers one either. It was the other one. There's a third one. You had a review copy, and I played it on Game Pass.
Yes, wasn't that Japanese rather than Chinese?
Was that don't you start this. I really don't want to do live podcast looking up stuff. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I won't do it.
He's not doing it.
I refuse.
He's not doing it.
I'm just saying
everyone.
we were mixing up games last week. If you commented, we acknowledge. I apologize.
It's been known to happen. I won't say that it didn't happen because it probably did.
These games look very similar, especially when they all have black covers with characters on them. So, right, let's get on with the news proper, Tim. And I tell you, the
proper news,
the news proper. First off, the Perfect Dark's curse strikes again. So first of all, that project is built. Stop looking at your phone, Tim. Stop looking at your phone. Back to the show.
I'm trying to look up the name of the game. Anyway, yeah.
We're not looking it up. We're not live podcasting like granddads on podcasts.
For an hour.
It's fine. We'll be wrong again. We've been wrong every week. We'll be wrong again. Yes. So unfortunate news. Crystal Dynamics, they've had more layoffs this week. I think they previously had a round of layoffs, and now they've had to have more. And that is because of the cancellation of Microsoft's Perfect Dark reboot. If you remember, that was something they were doing in-house. And then when Crystal Dynamics were picked up by Embracer Group from Square Enix, they were hired to take over from the disastrous first attempt at the reboot.
Imperfect Dark.
Yes, and that led up until the cancellation of the project earlier this year. And now, because of that project, the staffing up they did for it, that is not needed anymore. So they've had to lay people off, unfortunately. Yes. Third round of layoffs, apparently. First because of the struggles of Marvel's Avengers, and now because of Perfect Dark.
It's all your fault, Norman. You didn't love Marvel's Avengers enough.
I played Marvel's Avengers. I bought 2 copies of that game. I bought costumes in that game. I didn't get refunds after they took them off, decided to give them all away or anything like that. I felt a little bit ripped off by that game, but I put a lot of time into it. One day, it's in maintenance mode now, basically. There's no new updates. You can't buy... I don't think you can buy the game anymore, but if you have the game, you can play the game. It's still online and everything.
I think I have the game.
I'm tempted to go in and go for the platinum one day. It's a very boring grind to get the platinum. You have to do a lot of the Hive missions over and over again.
See, it's all your fault, Coleman. Just telling people it's boring is not going to bring all the boys to the yard, is it?
I enjoyed that game. It was a game when I was stuck in the rut of my life, a point of depression, and it was there for me.
And
I
it was
really,
it was that game that was causing your depression.
it took my mind off a lot of things. I'm very grateful for Marvel's Avengers. The only issue is to get the platinum, you have to do this like boss run of the Hive missions, and it's basically doing all of the Hive missions one after the other. It's like 10 missions, and they are long to do in one sitting.
So it does not sound like fun.
Yeah. No. But while we're talking about Marvel, do you remember earlier in the year we were talking about the cancelled EA Black Panther project? So there were 2 Black Panther games in the works.
Another cancelled game. Good.
Yes. Well, we've got there's the 2 different games. There's the one that's was it 1907 or something like that?
Hydra 1943 or something.
Thank you. That's the Captain America Black Panther game in Paris, Nazi occupied Paris. This was the different one where they were doing a mainline Black Panther game developed in EA, where they had the developers behind Shadow of Mordor working on the game, and Shadow of War, the ones that split from Ubisoft. And unfortunately, that Black Panther game was cancelled. They have split from EA, but they've been picked up by Wizards of the Coast. Them that do the cards. You know the cards, Tim.
I know the cards.
Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And many
Among others. Yeah.
And the rest.
Yep.
Dungeons and Dragons is a part of that? I don't know.
Not sure.
I know they're seen as something of a monopoly on card games in the collector's market, but
yes,
they're doing something. We don't know what it is, but yes, Cliffhanger Games. They're going to be working with Wizards of the Coast on something.
Oh,
pretty cool. I was expecting a comment of some kind.
No, I'm wondering, I'm assuming it's something based on one of their existing properties, but there's already like a Magic the Gathering digital version. So I'm trying to think what it might be.
I would hope you would have something along the lines of, say, a Baldur's Gate, where it's set in the world of D&D, but isn't a D&D game. You know? That did pretty well. Tim's Googling live on the podcast again.
Quite a few of those things, yes.
Tisk. Showing your age, Tim.
Yeah.
1,000 years old.
I am
typing like this.
Years old. Yeah, well, that's what. See, on my phone, you go, get off the phone, Tim. You're not paying attention to the
2 fingers. Well, you're not paying attention. You're Googling stuff instead. You're meant to have memorized this, Tim.
I don't remember anything ever.
Okay. Well, talking about things that we've got nice little segues today. Talking about things that have been discarded and then picked up again. Atari. Not talking about Atari being discarded, but that's debatable. Atari, we're not sure which version of Atari, but some version of Atari have picked up the rights of 5 different Ubisoft titles. One that you might be quite familiar with, Tim. That is Cold Fear, Child of Eden, Grow Home and Grow Up, but also I Am Alive. Which, if I remember rightly, didn't you do the review for that for Big Red Barrel back in there?
I do believe so. That is an okay game.
Yeah, it's a very fine, middling game.
Yeah.
That was a game that got a lot of excitement, but it wasn't.
Didn't
what
really
it was
deliver on it all.
It was meant to be like
okay, as I said.
It was meant to be like a big release game, and instead it kind of, I think it got kind of rushed out the door, and they simplified a lot of the mechanics that they were working on, and it ended up being essentially the PlayStation equivalent of a Xbox Live Arcade game. But there was a lot of silly little things. Anyway, we won't go into all of this, but yes, we don't know why Atari have picked up the rights to all these games, if they're just doing ports or re-releases or what's going on. But something's going on. Apparently, they're going to be working with Night Dive Studios. They're the guys who did the System Shock remake, which apparently is very, very good. And there could be something to be seen in future. Are you still looking up?
I'm still looking up. It's complicated, but I believe you're correct. I believe they own the rights to Dungeons and Dragons as well as Magic, but there doesn't seem to be much else. So yeah, I'm guessing they'd probably be working on something related.
I mean, if you read the little blurb in the Avengers, it says that they're working on an upcoming Dungeons and Dragons project under Stig Asmussen. So that would make me believe that Dungeons and Dragons is one of their games, Tim. Acclaim. Remember them?
You're acclaiming what?
I'm acclaiming that Acclaim are back in POG form. We spoke about this a little while ago, earlier in the year, I think, like March time, I think. There was the news that Acclaim are coming back. For some reason, WWE legend Jeff Jarrett is behind part of this on the board of Acclaim. But they're back after 2 decades. And if you don't know, Acclaim, they were the publisher behind massive titles back in the day, like Turok and NBA Jam and the rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Games that people have tried to resurrect to little effect in recent years.
Yeah. So we knew they were coming back. They went bankrupt in 2004. Now it's under new ownership and it's been revived. And they've announced that they're going to do a showcase September 10th.
Do you like a
so now we can we can finally see what this is about. It's the way forward, Tim. You know, we don't have these live shows anymore unless you want to go to Germany. Then we pretend it's still the pandemic and we watch all these presentations on YouTube instead of having a live audience in an auditorium somewhere clapping along to everything. But yeah.
Do we know what IPs they own still?
No. Clay Fighter?
Live Google
maybe?
time.
No live Googling. Well, remains to be seen if they're just bringing back older games or if they're publishing new games. We'll see on September the 10th. It'll be one to look out for. Biggest news this week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
No Man's Sky.
Oh.
So, in the same week that we got one of those Bethesda Spotlight things where they were talking to one of the developers about one of the guys behind I've forgotten the name, Starfield, because Starfield is going to get some kind of update in the future, probably next year at this point. But they really want to rework that game and make it perform better than it did and bring it to PlayStation 5.
The most exciting thing I've seen for Starfield in recent months, though, did you see the Star Wars mod that someone did for it? It looked very cool.
It looked cool.
Starfield does not.
Very, very cool. It looked cool. But yes, in the same week that they were trying to drum up some excitement for Starfield once again, No Man's Sky 6.0 Voyagers update. It's up live now. Hello Games, so they're working on a new title at the moment, which we've spoken about before, but they've launched this gigantic update for No Man's Sky Voyagers. The headline edition
Kate Mulgrew?
Sure. But from Orange is the New Black version instead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure. Or no, actually, Mrs. Columbo version instead. I think that would be better.
Okay.
But huge update. The idea is now you can build these gigantic spaceships, and but they're like you design them from the inside now, and you've got med bays and things like a Star Trek Voyager, as I might say. And you crew them with your friends, which is pretty damn cool.
Boldly go where no one has gone before.
Sure. Apparently, these are mechanics that they will work. The mechanics that they're doing in the No Man's Sky updates are ones that they were working to the next project, Light No Fire.
Right. Yeah.
Which, because I was watching the teardown thing with what's his face? I've forgotten his name. The main guy in Hello Games, Sean Guy. Who's Sean.
Sean Austin. Sean Butler. Sean of the Dead.
Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery of Hello Games from Beyond the Grave. But yes, they're basically saying that the updates they're using in No Man's Sky are helping in the development of Light No Fire, which I thought was quite interesting.
It's about time we heard more details of Light No Fire now, or got an update on what's going on.
We got a very small glimpse in the big kind of teardown thing that they showed on the video. But the teardown, I make it sound like this giant thing. It's about 3.5 minutes long. And most of it is shots of No Man's Sky. But going back, this launched 9 years ago now.
Let's say yes.
It's had an insane amount of free updates. I don't know how this game makes
I don't know
money.
what they're doing. No.
It is night and day to what it looks like now. It just looks so impressive. This makes, and I do this every time. When there's a big update, one of the big updates, I go, going to get back into No Man's Sky. And because I really, really loved this game on launch, I put a lot of hours into it. And then they started doing the updates and I kind of put it to the wayside and I decided to come back to it at some point. And every time I do, I go, oh my God, there's so much stuff to do. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yes, that's the problem.
But at least they're playing 65 Days of Static, and I go, ooh, I like that music.
Apparently, this looks extra nice and shiny on the PlayStation 5 Pro. In fact, one of the only reasons possibly to actually own a PS5 Pro, playing this, especially in VR as well, apparently it looks extra nice. But it's got the whole, is it PSSR thing?
The pisser, yes.
Yes, the pisser with the foveated rendering apparently makes it look extra nice. So yeah, that's apparently a thing. That's one of the things that came in this update. Like, I think they'd, done some stuff with that, but apparently that, really, really kicks butt now and looks even nicer in VR as a result.
I'm going to talk to Hello Games here for a moment because I know you're not
Hello,
watching.
Games.
Hello Games. Could you do me a flavor?
A flavor?
A flavor. The VR version, the PSVR 2 version of No Man's Sky. Can we have that updated so we can use the regular PlayStation 5 controller and not the motion controllers? Because I'm struggling to get the damn thing working, and I'd really like to play this in VR, and I've just got a working helmet and no working controllers, and I've given up with PlayStation support. If I could just have this one thing. There are no games on PlayStation. I've looked into this. There are no games on PlayStation VR 2 that you can just use the bog standard controller. You have to use the motion controllers on every game.
No.
It sounds unbelievable. Look it up. Not now, after the show, Tim. I am telling you, you can't use the motion controls on any PlayStation VR 2 game.
Any?
Oh, sorry, the regular controller. Any. And
any?
I looked into this on a one forum. Someone went, "Oh, No Man's Sky is the only game you can do this on," and then immediately it's like, "Oh no, sorry, that was the PlayStation 4, not the PlayStation 5."
Interesting.
I don't know why, but there you go.
That's got to be something that Sony's said to the developers. It's got to be a thing, kind of thing. I would have thought, but that is weird.
Shall we go craft spaceships together in No Man's Sky? Is it finally time to go back?
No, because you got too many games to play this week, Coleman.
I do, yeah. Well, maybe in a couple of weeks or something when I'm done with some of these games. When I've got the list down. I know Dan's big into No Man's Sky. He likes jumping back in for the updates. So.
We've never played the three of us in No Man's Sky at the same time.
No, like that was like one of the only things I was excited about a lot of that game, but that was like my main thing I was excited for, because if you remember the whole controversy of
you're going to hunt me down.
Oh, you can meet up your friends in the game, you could theoretically find your friends in the game, but you won't because it's just too big and expansive. And then two people found the same planet, they went to the same area, and they couldn't see each other. That was like a big controversy when the game launched, and then eventually
you went,
okay. You have it was huge. There were death threats. For a while, I'm pretty sure. I think Hello Games got to a point where they thought the basic line of communication between them and the general audience is death threats, because they were getting. If you remember, every time the game got delayed, death threats. First, the reporters that reported the game was delayed, they got death threats. Then when it was actually delayed, Hello Games got death threats. When the game came out, they got death threats. When it didn't do something they didn't want to do, death threats.
Hello Games, death threats. Here's a death threat. That's not good.
But yes, we've had updates including the base building, the multiplayer across different platforms, the VR, the underwater fishing. There's loads of stuff that's been added over the years.
We just need to just say, Hello Games, it's time to move on. Thank you for your service. Yeah, but no, don't, stop it. Put the game down. Carry on with your new game, or you'll run out of money.
isn't it something like 39 updates, all free?
I mean, possibly yes, but it says 6.0. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want one more. Just a little, just stop at 40. Boom. There we go.
Just controller support for Coleman.
Yes, that's number 40.
Yeah.
Regular controller support on a PSVR 2, please. Right, last bit of news this week. The elusive skate. If you remember a while ago, years ago, EA announced
it's all slippery.
That they were bringing
big slippery fish.
They
Slips through your hands.
They announced that they were bringing back Skate, the Skate series, just called Skate. People have been wanting a sequel to Skate 4 for Skate 3 for a long time. We're finally getting that with Skate that's going to launch in early access the 16th of September, my brother's birthday, for PlayStation and Xbox and PC. It's going to be free to play. There's going to be cross progression, and it's always online. I don't think that's what they wanted from Skate.
No one wants that from anything.
No, I was always a Tony Hawk's fan. I never really got into Skate.
I know a few. Skate.
Yeah, I know a few. One of the guys I work with, he's like massive into Skate from back in the day. We were playing Tony Hawk at work, and then he was like, how's that Skate reboot coming along? I want to play Skate. And then when I went, oh, Skate, that's coming on the 16th of September. And yeah, but it's free to play. They're probably going to sell you everything. Okay, yeah. Sounds like an EA game. But yes, it's coming. I'll give it a go.
I mean, EA and free to play isn't two phrases that I normally
free to play.
Free A to play.
Free A sports.
No. I don't know. Like I'd rather people were bringing back snowboarding games for my personal preferences. All power to people that love Skate and have wanted the game to come back.
Ubisoft tried. No one played.
Well, yeah.
Steep.
I want fun, arcadey snowboarding games, though. Everyone keeps on bringing back and going, oh, you want a realistic snowboarding game? No, I don't. Bring me SSX or Ghoul Borders, please.
We had Steep, and I don't think enough people played it. So then they went, okay, now we need I remember us both being excited about it, and then neither of us playing it.
Yeah.
But then what was the other one that I did play quite a lot of, where they mix like it's cycling and skateboarding and parachuting and everything just kind of thrown into one.
Yeah, the Ubisoft. It had a weird name that I can't remember now.
That one is quite arcadey, I thought. It was a lot of messing around in that. I really enjoyed that one, messing around in that game. I should probably reinstall that.
I'm going to go look.
Can't keep him focused on the show. Can't keep him focused on the show. He's got little lights and things in his hands and tippity tapping and typing. Riders Republic. Terrible name.
Yes, that's why
great
it
game.
Didn't stick in my head. A good game.
Terrible name for a great game. That's all the news we have time for this week. It's all the news in general. That's all I wrote down. That's all she wrote. Tim?
Murder, She Wrote.
If you were going... Sorry?
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, yes. Murder, She Wrote. If I was going to tell you about a place to buy merchandise for BigRedBarrel.com,
do tell.
And BRB UK and others.
Yep.
You should go to our Dashery store, which you can find at this handy link. I've lost all the buttons. There we go. Which is BigRedBarrel.com/store. If you go there, that'll take you to our Dashery store. You can find our t-shirts. You can find our mugs. You can find our stickers. What else we got, Tim?
No buttons, Cole. You're saying about buttons.
No buttons?
It's no buttons. Like this got buttons.
Baby grows.
There's no
got
buttons.
Baby grows.
This doesn't.
We got bibs. We got
let's say yes. Pillows.
Pillows. We want BRB UK pillow. That's what all the cool kids want. Go to BigRedBarrel.com. You know I'm going to clip that, right?
There's no Dan Love pillow. I'm sorry to disappoint. Come in my love cupboard.
You can find all that at BigRedBarrel.com/store. Tim, tell me about Tuesdays.
Tuesday is a Tuesday, Coleman, and each and every Tuesday we do an event called Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington. Last week, we gave away the biggest prize we have ever given away. It was a copy of Apex Legends. It was massive. It made someone very happy, apart from the fact they had to carry it home on public transport because it was huge. But yeah, really good game, really big game. Took a long time to pack away and put up and set up and stuff. But if you like Apex Legends, it's definitely one worth checking out. Go and check out Apex Legends, the board game. This week's feature game is very different to last week's feature game. It won't take a long time to pack away. It's quick to play, and it's very silly. And it's called Oh My Pigeons. One for Bleezy. Oh, Bleezy. But yeah, silly little party game. Looks good fun. Should be a good one to come along and play this week. If you want more details, check the right-hand side of bigredbarrel.com. There is a big old button that says Tabletop Tuesday that you can press for details and get a video that will help teach you the game of the week. Also, you can join the over 2,250 plus members on our Meetup group. Search for Tabletop Tuesday on meetup.com. Or just come along to the loading bar this Tuesday and almost every other Tuesday. Just come along to Tabletop Tuesday at the loading bar in Stoke Newington every Tuesday. There you go.
Cool. If you want to come in Tim's love cupboard, then be sure to go to Tabletop Tuesday at the loading bar in Stoke Newington for Oh My Pigeons. I think that's the 2nd of September. That sounds like a Tuesday.
That sounds like a thing.
That sounds like a thing. Be there. And also be sure
and be square.
to... Yes. If you got this far in the show, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We love you, you weirdo. Be sure to go to bigredbarrel.com. That is the website that hosts this here podcast and other things. Stuff, things, check it out. Yes. Also, you can find links to our social medias, including our Discord, which you can handily sign up to if you go to bigredbarrel.com/Discord. That'll whisk you off to our invite link to Discord, where you can go to the Big Red Barrel Discord. You can chat to us. You can participate in gamer nights. I hear Destiny's a popular one. It's probably the only active one there at the moment. You can go and claim some free games. bigredbarrel.com/Discord. Discord. Discord. Oh, Sean Connery's back from Hello Games.
Well, being slightly piratey.
Sean Murray. Sean Murray. Sean Murray. He's looking a lot healthier these days than when he did the launch of No Man's Sky, where he looked all emaciated with a gigantic beard. Anyway.
That's Sean Connery. You're thinking of Sean Connery again.
One open-handed slap around the galaxy. One procedurally generated open-hand slap. I'm Sean Murray, and this is how I talk. Hello, games. This has been BRB UK, episode 649. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Dan in tow, with lots of games I need to talk about. One of them manually, I can't say the word. One that is required for me to talk about. Mandatory, thank you. Words elude me. I have been Coleman.
I might have been Tim.
Dan will hopefully be back next week. Rest in power,
That's
King
also
Cobra.
mandatory.
That is also mandatory. Until next time, dear listeners, dear viewers, goodbye.
Your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to bigredbarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, bigredbarrel.com.
But that does actually work surprisingly well. The traversal and this is an action platforming game, and I spoke about Shinobi last week, where I accepted that was a very well made game, but that I probably wouldn't